two brothers, Akalanka and Nishkalanka, and they were martyred according to Buddhists, killed them, something like that. There's a story. Okay. Shall I start? Tell me.
Yes, go ahead.
Trailokyam sakalam trikala vishayam salokam sakshadena yatha swayam karatale rekhatrayam sanguli. Ragadvesha bhaya mayatanka rag आतंक जरा लोलत्व लोभादयो रागद्वेष भयामयांतक जरा लोलत्व लोभादयो नालं यस्य नालं यत् पदलंघनाय स महादेवो maya vandyate.
And so again the name of the stotra?
Akalanka Stotram.
Akalanka
He says,
Stotram.
I worship Mahadeva. What kind of Mahadeva he is?
Yeah.
This is how he is. What
Yeah.
was? Namely again,
Yeah.
Trailokyam sakalam trikala vishayam
Yeah.
salokam alokitam. He has seen these three words
Yeah.
at one time.
Yeah, at all three times. Yeah.
Sakshadena Swayam Karatale Lekhatrayam Sanguli, as you will see 3 lines on your palm
Wow.
with your thumb. Such a person, Sarvajna. Ragadvesha Bhaya Amaya Atanka Raga Lolatva Lobhadayo
Jara.
Ragadvesha भय आमय आतंक जरा लोलत्व लोभादयो न अलम यस्य. They are not powerful enough to नालम यस्य नालम यस पद लंघनाय. They cannot cross his feet. नालम यत पद लंघनाय स महादेवो मया वंद्यते. Such Mahadeva I worship, not your Mahadeva Shivalinga, etc.
Right.
Then he comes as a Dagdham yena Puratrayam Sharabhava. Sharabhava age will be Kartikeya.
Yeah, Sharavanabhavam.
Dagdham yena Puratrayam. As the Senapati of the gods, he destroys everything. Dagdham yena Puratrayam Sharabhava Tivrarchisha Vandina. यो वा नृत्यति मत्तवत् यो वा नृत्यति मत्तवत् पितृवने श्मशान पितृवने यस्यात्मजो वा गुहः. Whose son is Guha is again Kartikeya. Soyam Kim mama Shankaro Bhaya Trisha Rosharti Moksha Kshayam Kritva Yaha Satu Sarvavittanubhrutam Kshemankarah Shankara. For me, one who has destroyed all these, one who has destroyed the Jarma, Jara, Marana, etc. He is Shankara real. That's the Jiva is the only one who is Shankara. He appropriated the name Shankara, Vishnu for himself. That such Shankara I do, such Vishnu I do. Okay, so you understand the first one.
Yeah.
Dagdhamyena, this is in Kannada, very bad lipi. Paper also bad, but I'm reading it. It's Sanskrit. Soyam kim mama shankaro. Kim mama shankaro. Mama shankaro. Who is mama shankaro? Bhaya trisha dosharti mohakshayam. Kritva yah sah sarvavit tanabhritam Ksemankara Shankara. My Shankara is the one who has destroyed all of these things, not one who dances in the etc. It's a Puranic.
Right, right.
Okay. Then Shankara. Then comes Vishnu. Yatnadyena vidaritam kararuhaihi. That's the nails. Kararuha means that which grows on the nail, grows on the hand fingers.
Trees? Ruha is tree, right?
No. Ruha is to ruha, grow.
Grow. Okay.
Kararuha means the nail.
Yeah.
That which grows on the kara means hand.
Yeah.
Hand nails.
Yeah.
With his hand nails.
Yeah.
This is about your famous deity.
What, Narasimha?
Narasimha.
Ah.
Here. Yatnadyena vidaritam kararuhair daitrendra vakshasthalam.
See, the Vakshasthala comes here.
Isn't it? That is the or sarathyena dhananjayasya samare yokarayat yo marayat kauravan. All himsa.
Yeah.
Nasau Vishnu Raneka. Who is Vishnu for me then? Vishnu has the meaning of Visha is to spread all over.
Pervade.
So by knowledge he spreads all the three words, he knows the three words, therefore he is Vishnu. Sarvajna is Vishnu.
Right.
So Visha. Okay, so he said okay. Nasau Vishnu Raneka Kala Vishayam Yajnanam Avyahatam. One whose knowledge Avyahata means completely going on. There is no gap, because gap means you have some ajnana moment. If you are Sarvajna, there is no moment of not knowledge.
Right.
It's continuous,
Complete.
like light. Na ajnana avyahatam. Okay. I am also reading for it's very difficult to read this. Samskriti in Kannada Lipi.
Yeah, I know. When I do it in Telugu, it's terrible. I mean,
Nasau Vishnu Raneka Kala Vishayam Yajnanam Avyahatam Vishwam Vyapya Vijrambate Satu Maha Vishnu Sadeshyo Mama. Such is the Mahavishnu, my Jira is Mahavishnu.
wow.
See how they are appropriating everything.
Yeah, completely.
This is Shiva, not that.
Right.
This is Vishnu, not that.
Right.
Now, okay, then next one. Okay. Urvasyam udapadi raga matulam raga bahulam cheto yadiyam punah, whose mind was full of Urvashi.
Yep.
Patri danda kamandalu pravrittayo, one who has that danda kamandalu, that Shiva. He walks with that, isn't it? Kamandalu pravrittayo yasya kritartha stitim yasya kritartha stitim. In order to live, he walks around with kapala in his hand for begging.
Yeah, Kapalika.
Kapalika. Urvasyamudapadiraga bahulam cheto yadiyam punah patri danda kamandalu prabhutayo yasya kritartha stitim avirbhavayitum bhavanti sakatham brahma bhavet madrisham. How can he be Brahma for someone like me? Akalanka, he says, I am a Jaina Muni, he says. Kshut Trishna. And then who is Brahma for me? Kshut means Kshuda, means hunger. Kshut Trishna Shrama Raga Dosha Rahito Brahma Kritarthostu Naha. Our God, Jaina is Brahma, not your Brahma who walks around with this kamandalu, but thinking of Urvashi all the time. Urvashya. Brahma is always said to be having an eye for Saraswati, having an eye for Brahma, because the first thing he does is to create
her, make her.
Create her, he has to. Okay. Now the next one. Now comes the Buddhist.
Oh, great. Let me hear this one.
Yo jagdva pishitam, having chewed meat.
Yep.
Pishita is meat.
Yep.
Buddha eats.
Mamsa. Yeah.
Yo jagdva pishitam, samatsya kavalam. Samatsya kavalam. Vaktacha. Yo vakta. No. Yo jagdva pishitam, samatsya kavalam. Jivam cha shunyam vadan. So the Atma doesn't exist, Atma is shunya. Jivam cha shunyam vadan. Karta karma phalam. Nayaj jaiti. Saha, one who says that kar, because if there is no jiva,
right,
then one who does the action,
right,
he is not the same person who is enjoying the fruits of it.
That's correct.
That means karta is not enjoying the fruits of his own.
Yeah,
Someone else is doing.
Right.
There is no connection between the two.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, how do the Buddhists explain that?
Santana, santati. But if santati also doesn't exist, what?
Right.
So the Buddhists have a very big problem there, but Buddhists have answered it very well. He said that everything is kshanika, isn't it?
Yeah, momentariness.
If there is a moment, it does. You see, I have memory of something, therefore it's connected.
Right.
And memory means santana. It goes on one after linking.
Right.
There is no gap.
Right. It's one continuous stream, and yet it has individual
but
moments.
Individual. But here, if everything begins and ends at the same moment, kshanika.
Yeah.
Kshana means that it doesn't last next moment.
Yeah.
There is no continuity.
Yeah.
You cannot explain santana.
Yeah.
Santana is one has to join with the next one.
Right.
When will it join?
Right.
Because coming into existence itself is one moment finished.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
See now, kshanika sarva samskaraha. This is the Buddha saying.
So that's the sarvasti.
Kshanika means all Buddhist doctrine is kshanika.
Even this is in the Abhidharma?
All Buddhists are kshanika.
Okay.
Everything is one moment only.
Okay.
Kshanika sarva samskara.
Okay.
Because there is no attaching one with the other.
Right.
Second one is one dies, second arises. Second
Immediate.
dies, third arises.
Immediate.
There is immediately means what? Yes, giving rise, like one cell giving rise to another cell, dying.
Right.
So kshanika sarva samskara. So the Jaina asked, asthiranam, because if one moment is required to come into existence, and it's only one moment, when is this going to act now?
Yeah.
It has to.
It needs time to reach its fruition.
Yeah,
its
in other words, coming into existence itself takes one moment.
Right.
So jayate, asti, vardate, kriyate, nothing is possible. Jayate, one moment finished.
Right.
When is he going to do the rest of the work?
Good point.
It's a very good one. So this
point.
is in Abhidharma Kosha. Kshanika sarva samskara. Asthiranam, question. Asthiranam kuta kriya.
Kuta kriya. When are you going to do this stuff?
Nothing. Very good answer. Bhuti resham. Their being itself is kriya saiva.
Right.
Their being itself is action.
Right. Absolutely.
They don't have to do anything. Coming into existence, that itself is action.
Right.
Bhuti.
Yeah.
Bhavanam bhuti.
Yeah.
Bhuti resham kriya saiva. Saiva karakam uchyate. It is called kriya itself. That bhavanam itself is, they don't do anything. But being there itself is enough.
Right.
This was quoted by a poet.
Yeah.
That women don't do anything to me. They are innocent. But their being itself is enough for me. Bhuti resham kriya saiva.
So
their being itself is enough for me.
Yeah.
They don't do anything.
So
they don't even look at me.
Yeah. So
Let them not.
This is when you need that dura darshana, right?
Yeah, somewhere.
What was that verse? Nadi one?
Yeah, well, if you want to record it.
Go ahead.
Duratah parvato ramyah.
Durato parvata ramya.
Duratah parvato ramyah. Durat ramyatara nadi.
Nadi.
Durat ramyatama nari. Trinetan durato bhajet. Enjoy them from a distance.
Right, enjoy these three
Don't
things
come
from a
near,
distance.
But the idea that a woman doesn't do anything yet, and yet you may be moved by it, that bhuti resham kriya saiva, that's enough. So Buddhist says that in one moment, Kriya and being are not two different things. Being itself is Kriya, finished, that's the end of it. That it has made its action.
Right.
And so that's enough then.
That's a good answer.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
it's so brilliant. I mean, they're both right.
Absolutely. And
they keep going.
therefore they cannot this Buddhist answer, Bhutire Sham Kriya Saiva. And that Kriya itself then leads to the idea of yesterday I was taking, that the dharmas exist at all times.
Right.
But they become Vartamana when they have exhausted their action.
Right.
And then before they exhaust their action, they are in the future.
Right.
Exhausting action, Vartamana. After that, Bhuta, finished.
Yeah.
So they are in three times.
Right.
In the Bhavishya, they have a potentiality of becoming Vartamana.
Right.
In the Vartamana, the potentiality comes into expression.
Right.
And that's finished. Dharma is not lost, its potentiality is finished.
Right.
That's it.
That's the key point.
That's the key point.
The dharma is never gone, but the potentiality
is called future. In future,
right.
there is potentiality.
Right.
Dharma is there. Present moment is when that action has done.
Right.
Having done that action, it lapses into fast.
Right.
It finishes Bhuta then.
Right.
Bhavishya to Vartamana, Vartamana to Bhuta.
Yeah.
It moved from there to here,
Yeah.
here to there. Finished.
So if I could just ask another question, the whole idea of this kshanika momentariness in Buddhism, you're saying that this is there in the original Pali Abhidharma clearly?
No,
discussed?
not so much.
Yeah.
In the Shastra.
In the Shastra.
This, what I'm quoting is from Shastra, because that is where the non-Buddhists were asking questions.
Right.
In the Pali, non-Buddhists are not asking questions.
I know, they're not, but...
Their Buddha is only preaching something.
No, not in the Sutra, I'm saying in the Abhidharma.
Abhidharma takes up questions from the others also.
Right.
Not Abhidharma text itself,
Okay.
but Yashomitra's commentary.
Yashomitra's.
Abhidharma has many commentaries, Gudamati, Sthiramatis,
Yeah.
and they are the ones who had to answer Nyaya, Vaisheshika, schools questions asked by them.
What about Visuddhimagga? Does it come?
Visuddhimagga is Pali. There is no discussion about the others. It's all interwoven. Shila, Samadhi, Prajna. These are the three divisions made. Visuddhimagga has no litigation against anybody at all. It talks only about Buddha's part.
Right.
And it was written in Pali, Visuddhimagga. It is translated into Chinese. And then from Chinese, Bapat, I think, translated sections of it from Chinese into English. But it was Sanskritized, Visuddhimagga, by some Brahmins, and that Sanskritized text went into China. All Buddhist texts that were taken into China were translations of Pali or the Middle Indian Prakrit, but turned into some kind of Sanskrit, which reached the border of China and India. Today's Dunhuang.
Yeah.
And from Dunhuang, then it went into China.
Yeah.
Or it went into Malaya, Burma, Malaya,
Right.
and on this way they went to Beijing and that side.
Right.
That side they went.
Right.
One is from the mountain side, north,
Right.
and one is from the seaside.
Right.
And the seaside ones were easier to reach because that was closer.
Right.
This was going through the desert, etc.
Right. So what is it?
There are 4 instincts, samjna.
That make
Ahara samjna, instinct for food. Maithuna samjna, mating instinct. Bhaya samjna, fear for loss of life as well as partnerships, etc. And maithuna doesn't stand only for maithuna but all the panchendriya vishaya.
Right.
Ahara stands for the food for all the 5 senses also.
Right.
So ahara, anything that eats and mates and fears for its life, bhaya samjna. And therefore, in order to protect the ahara and maithuna and from bhaya, it parigraha, it collects all the forces, namely power, more of the food, more of the store, more women, more this, more that, as animals do, and saves a whole lot, parigraha. Parigraha is accumulation, and this is how even the instinct, chiti has this, it has a soul. Anything, has that which eats and mates and fears for life and collects something together has a soul.
So these 4 things define what a soul is.
Well, if you find these 4 things in any place, it has, whether even it is and Kabira has a voice, Chiti. Chiti means
ant.
Chawal lai chali. It is taking a small grain of rice. Chal rahe. बीच में मिल गई दाल. It saw a dal. in the way.
बीच में मिल गया दाल.
Which may mil gayi dal.
हाँ.
Now it can't. It wants to make a khichdi together. Dal and rice go together. Cheeti chawal lai chali. Kabir is watching this.
Yeah.
Which may mil gayi dal. Now that Cheeti doesn't know what to do. It wants dal, but can't give up chawal.
Yeah.
It drops. It keeps this, but at one side. But then it picks up this. It has to give up this, but it doesn't want to. So it bites this, but can't keep it. So it decides. So Kabir says, "Cheeti chawal lai chali, beech mein mil gayi dal." Kaha Kabir. Kabir says, "Kaha Kabir, do na mile. You can't get both. Ikale, pick one. Duji dal. Throw the second. Go." So even that Cheeti has the choice to give up or not, to take it or not.
Yeah.
So even the animals have the same ahara, maithuna, bhaya, parigraha. All over, anywhere there is, even the smallest insect has the same thing. It flies from place to place in search of food, in search of mate, in search of this and that. So this is the basic idea. Of course, only human beings have souls in all the three Western religions. Animals have no souls at all, let alone cremies and butterflies and cheeties. Who wants to talk about them?
Yeah.
Animals have no souls, therefore you can kill them. They were meant for food.
Right.
Actually, you should look up Gita also as to what yajnartham pashavo srishtaha.
Yajnathu ashvam shista. Okay.
There is it.
Yeah.
We don't know what to make of that yajnartham pashavo srishtaha.
Yeah.
Pashus were created for yajna.
Yeah. They're made for the purpose of doing the yajna.
So there it is. The yajna itself has been made into a different way.
Yeah. So on this issue, I'd like to ask again, because all of this is Jaina theory, and out of all the traditions that I have read,
Jaina theory is not necessarily Jaina theory, but Jaina text use this as a.
Okay.
That's all.
But then
because the Jainas have said this, there are 4 samjnas: ahara samjna, maithuna samjna, bhaya samjna, parigraha samjna, common to all souls, regardless of whether they only ekendriya, sparshan only like the trees.
Right.
Even the tree has the same.
But see, I was going to say, that's exactly where I'm going. What about plant life? They have
same. Plant life has the same 4 things.
Exactly.
It soaks water from the food.
Exactly.
Ahara, maithuna. Oh yeah, the male and the female.
All flowers.
That's right.
Yeah.
And bhaya, they also have. There are certain leaves which will, if you touch, you will immediately take.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Oh yes, they react.
So they react, bhaya. And parigraha, they are also collecting.
Always.
All the roots are collecting, nothing but roots are spreading out. The leaves are collecting.
Right.
So anywhere you like, therefore Jains are the only one who called entire vanaspati world to be jiva. Buddhists don't call the vanaspati a jiva at all.
Right.
They say people you should not walk on grass. People think that there is jiva there. This is what the Pali text says. Now the Buddha says, monks, because the people started complaining. Look at these Buddhist monks, they walk on the on the green.
On the green
so the people believe that there is jiva in that, don't walk. Something like that. But Buddhists themselves never said there is jiva at all in anything but animals and humans.
Right.
All the animals also only like elephants and that kind of.
So this is the point I want to make. Out of all these traditions, Jainism seems to be the most
absolutely most detailed. Detailed.
So on this point, I just would like you to explain the different ekendriya creatures and how they have defined these different organisms.
Well, they are the Hinduism has absolutely nothing to say about the animals even.
Right.
How and why the animals came, there is only one Upanishad where it is said that when the creation, when Brahman originally, I think it's in Shvetashvatara or something, originally the Brahman was a man and woman in close embrace. Like a man and woman in close embrace, such was the original Brahman. Eko aham bahushyam.
Yeah, this one needs to become many.
I will become many. And so he splits himself. And it becomes male and female.
Right.
Ardhanari, Nareshwara, etc. These are all originally from the Upanishad idea. He split himself, and as soon as he split himself, he had sex with female. And she said, I am part of you. You did this to me. Hell with you. So she became a cow. He became a bull. She became a mare. And he became a horse. She became this, she became that. All the way right up to Pipilika, right up to the ants. She is the one who differently to hide from him. This is the way Chiryanchas were made, and it's in the Upanishad. Shvetashvatara or some such Upanishad. That's the only story which tells you why animals came to be. Because it says only she became a cow, he became a bull. She became a mare, means the horse, and he became a horse. She became this, that, and then she skips right up to Pipilika. This is how it happened. All the male, female, all female. So all the animals are right up to the Pipilika, means ants. This happened. And this is how the creation took place. And this is the only explanation how Tiryanchas are made. There is no explanation for Tiryanchas. Whereas the Jainas have 5 indriyas. Some beings are only with 4 indriyas. Chakshuna, or grana, jiva, kaya. Sparshanendriya is common to all.
So sparsha is like contact.
Compulsory. Sparsha is compulsory.
I mean, that's just kind of there.
Sparsha is the basic. Ekendriya means sparsha only.
Sparsha only.
They have no taste, they have no tongue, they have no eyes, etc. But that sparsha itself gives them everything they need.
Like these, would you put bacteria in that category?
Everything. Even less than bacteria if there is anything. Absolutely. They are the whole word for called nigoda.
That article, I'm getting it copied by the way.
Nigoda is really...
what does this word nigoda mean exactly?
Many speculations. Nigoda is the lowest part in the loka, which is full of such beings who have never come out of it.
I see.
And some people have suggested, rather ugly, rather dirty. Guda means the anus. Isn't it? Guda dwara. Guda. So Niguda, the lowest part of the loka,
I see.
where the shit goes.
Well, there's a lot of microorganisms.
And that is where in the lokakash of the Jaina, the lowest part under the 7th hell, it's full of nigodas.
I see.
And each time, this is very special, each time a jiva from the Manushya loka escapes samsara and goes to Siddha loka, means escapes. Siddha means where there is no body at all. Pure soul, spirit. Without any body.
No samsara.
Gone. Siddha, that's why it's accomplished.
Done. Finished.
Any time, according to the later speculation, at each moment, a minimum of 108 jivas from all over the 3 worlds, etc., must attain moksha.
Wow. That's a lot.
No. Not only our Jambudvipa. Entire 3 Manushya loka.
Okay.
The 3 lokas, etc.
Okay.
Not the Swarga Naraka. Manushya only. So 108 is the maximum, not minimum. At one moment, 108
can go.
I think 100. There is no rule minimum maximum. 108 jivas attain moksha. And then it says, as many jivas attain moksha, so many nigodas come into the Tiryancha world. They
so
escape that nigoda.
They
escape nigoda, and then they enter into the Vyavaharika birth. Because in the nigoda they have never, they die and are born there itself.
They just
in the same body again and again. And some people, and the nigodas are also, there are some nigodas which are individual bodies. But most of the nigodas have collective bodies.
I see.
50 souls have the same body.
So interesting.
Something like that. And these are infinite in number. And so, the number of siddhas jivas escaped samsara, so many exactly will enter into this. So, these are the 2 ends of the loka. And so, this is how because there is no gati for them to go anywhere. They are only in the same. From Anadikala. On this I have written this also. If they are in Anadikala, how can that be at all? then it is not a result of a karma,
Right.
etc. etc.
Right.
For that reason, my article on that nigoda to moksha,
Yeah.
which I Marudevi.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So anyway,
what
let's
they say,
get
nigoda means Buddha is the last part.
Right.
Lokakasha, you know the image of the Jaina image.
Yeah.
Loka, the lowest part is 7 hells.
Yeah.
Under that there is a dark line.
Yeah.
That is where nigodas are there.
Yeah.
And these nigodas are found all over the universe.
Yeah.
Right here nigodas are there.
Yeah.
But the nigodas are there.
Yeah.
They have never come out of that area.
Right.
And they are there sitting. And only 108
Yeah.
will escape as soon as one goes to Siddha.
Yeah.
Here comes.
Yeah.
So this is the idea that the Lokakasha is perpetually kept in samsara moving.
Exactly.
When one Siddha goes, one Nigoda comes. And so the Nigodas are the breeding grounds for life.
Yeah.
So from the smallest possible, imaginable, smallest life form, you get the second ekendriya, dvindriya.
So dvindriya, sparsha, then what comes next?
Sparsha, grana.
Grana, so they're...
Sparshanendriya, granendriya, jivendriya.
Okay.
Sparsha, rasana, grana.
Okay. Sparsha.
These are common to all. Sparsha, rasana means the jiva, and grana means the smell.
Yeah.
Sparsha, rasana, jiva, chakshu, and kaya.
Kaya, and then a full body.
Kaya is the first one.
Okay.
Kaya, then development wise, not all beings have chakshu.
Right.
So sparshanendriya, kaya indriya. So sparshana body, rasana jiva. That's the second one.
Right.
All those who eat must have something called tongue.
Yeah.
Something that serves as tongue.
Right.
So sparshana, rasana, grana. Animals have very, very strong smell.
Absolutely.
Jiva and kaya. So kaya indriya, you reverse it, kaya indriya is common to all,
right,
etc.
Right.
Sparshana therefore is common to all.
Right.
Rasana, number 2, jiva.
Yeah.
The most developed one is the chakshu.
Yeah.
That not all animals have eyes.
Right.
But then their nose does the work of the eye.
Absolutely.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So the Jainas have a full discussion of all of that, how the ekendriyas, dvindriyas, trindriyas, chatundriyas, and that is how the Jaina sadhus are said, you must not kill any animal being. Others are killing animals, whereas Jaina sadhus say, you must not kill even the ekendriyas.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why the pinchi is said. Pinchi is really Digambar Jaina Munis carry the soft peacock feather bunch which they hold in their hand.
Yeah.
That's for
the whisk.
To wipe the Shwetambaras make cloth pieces hanging with which they do. So Rajoharana. Main thing is that they must not sleep on an ant or this and that. So the ekendriya jiva, imagine those who are killing without any remorse animals and eat their food. For them to say that we don't even kill ants, we don't kill mosquitoes, we don't spray this and that, for them it is horrible. And indeed, criticism of Jainism, Buddhists have no such. Buddhists don't talk about ekendriya at all. Buddhists don't even talk about vanaspati. They don't believe vanaspati has jiva at all.
Right.
But they say people believe that there is jiva in vanaspati. Therefore, you must not walk on grass. Buddha says. Because people started saying, look at these Buddhists, walk on grass.
Right.
Jainas saying.
Right.
So the Jainas became extremely negative. Number one.
Right.
Extremely frightening in their way of looking at the Lokakasha and the way the jiva can move.
Right.
A jiva can move from the bottom of the Lokakasha to the Siddhaloka in one samaya, one kshana. Just as one small atom can run from one end of the loka to the other in one samaya. It can reach gati. This is the way souls have gatis. They on their own they move. When I go to Naraka, I don't walk. My soul will be there like looking into the mirror. Simultaneously, you die here and are born there. How? Gati. The souls are like the rays of the sun or something like that, that it reaches in no time. And this is the idea of the soul able to move. And soul therefore has expansion and contraction. So big body expands, small body contracts, but the mass remains the same.
Oh yeah, this was one thing that was a unique solution by the Jains against a Buddhist point, right?
This is called the Jaina idea, that the soul has so much mass.
Right.
Asankhyata, it can occupy, asankhyata pradesha means what a immeasurable space.
Space, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if it is chiti, it still has the same asankhyata, it can contract.
Right.
It's elephant, it can expand.
Right.
So like your mupati folded, expanded.
Yeah.
So samhara visarga, you together, and therefore the soul is confined to body, and according to the confinement body, you big larger, well the soul becomes, but its mass has not grown or less.
Right.
It's the same mass.
Right.
Like what you are wearing now, it can be folded, mass is the same. Same. The soul's mass is asankhyata,
so it's like,
occupying.
It's like a concept of soul density.
Yeah. You just
it can be very dense like this, or it can expand
but the mass is the same.
But the mass is the same.
That's the whole idea. Therefore, the mass, even in Naraka, Swarga, wherever you go, the soul's mass is the same.
Right. So volume can change.
How much can it occupy? It can occupy asankhyata pradesha, means immeasurable space. That's it. How much is immeasurable? Asankhata, that also is asankhata times different. So Jains have gone into such detail, and all this has happened before Mahavira's time, 2000 BC. Buddhists don't have a clue for this at all. They don't talk about animals whatsoever, other than that Buddha was born as an elephant and then he saved beings by telling them that, look here, he comes to help Buddha. Etc. All sorts of monkeys. They make a bridge for people to cross, etc.
Yeah.
So what we are saying, that we were reading Akalanka Stotram,
let's
but
go
you
back
heard the best of it, that Brahma and Vishnu, Mahesha for me are not these.
No, but the most interesting, what does he say about the Buddhists?
Well, I said that that they eat mamsa and then say there is no jiva.
Right, and then say no.
That's the end of it.
And that's how we got into this discussion.
That's the end of it. Then he goes on different things.
Right.
But the both main thing, Akalanka's critique was this, that what you are worshipping is nothing but worldly people living like a householders. They have got wives and you have got. They have got this. You have got Trishul and Ayudha. So how are you different from ordinary people living? Look at me. I have none of this. I don't have a consort. I don't have this. I don't. So Digambaras eat only in the hand only. Patra also doesn't have. They carry only kamandalu, a wooden container for water for shaucha, for only toilet only. It's not for drinking. And take it only once a day, during the meal time only. No water again. Because of this Jainism.
And the water is poured in the bowl where the food is given, right?
Yeah. You stand there and giver puts food, and with your this, you just do that.
And the water goes right here too.
Well, you just hold it like this. Yeah. So as they do it in India.
Well, the other day I was hearing, whatever, some puja days or something, the festival day, the Digambar monks come to the house of the lay people, and they're served food, but on a plate. And then that plate, after they finish eating, so there's always some little bit stuff left. To make sure that food is also taken care of, the water given for the meal is poured into the plate. The whole plate is washed with that water, and that is drunk.
Because that is very true. That's only for the time of the. Because anything left on the food will attract ants, and that would be himsa. Therefore, the rule is that even today, many Jaina households, after the meal, immediately you should completely wash the dishes, wipe them, clean, make sure there is nothing left, because anything left will attract ants, and then you will have to kill them. That's the idea. So, but it's not only for the Jaina monks doing it. But every Jain household had that. But nowadays nobody cares. They just pulled. But there was a time when Jaina culture demanded